Hi everyone and welcome back, it's Vicky here and today I'm going to play with the new Stamperia kit. So this is a kit that Stamperia will be putting out every month where you get lots of products in one pack to play with, and today I'm going to share some ideas on what you can do with this kit. But first let's take a look on what's included. So first of all, I'm very proud and happy because the first kit comes with my signature collection products, and this is the junk journal. You will find pattern paper, you will also find stickers and cutouts. So some of the pages are going to give you your backgrounds, others are the stickers, but notice that the stickers are not shiny at all, they are completely matte. And you will see that all the designs are from an everyday collection. Secret Diary is an all-season collection, so you can use it throughout the year. And then you will find pages inside this booklet that are already cut out for you. They are perforated, so you just pop them out, and they are printed front and back, which means that you get the option to have your elements facing either way. By using this booklet, I have shared many videos on my YouTube channel where you can see me creating 10 cards, for example, just by using this booklet, and many other projects. So if you need extra inspiration, make sure to check these videos as well. Now, in your kit, along with this booklet, you get many other products to play with. So first of all, let's take a look at the stamp set. This is a stamp set I designed especially for using it for your backgrounds. You can combine all the different elements here for a really generic background that can work with any project. Then you will get a stencil, and this is a stencil that gives you a butterfly, a lovely floral composition, as well as text. So you can use it as it is or just pick different areas of the stencil depending on your project. Then you do get an ink pad in a lovely color. We chose to give you a colorful ink pad instead of a black one or a brown one because we are assuming that you already have one on hand. And you can use the blending brush, which is included in the kit, and it comes with a cup. Really handy because you can store these brushes without contaminating one another. So you can combine it with your ink pad to do some ink blending. You can use the ink pad to do some stamping or other techniques. Just keep in mind this is a dye ink, which means that it is reactive to water, and there are lots of ways that you can use it. And finally, you do get glue in your kit. This is the perfect glue for mixed media because it dries completely matte and there is no shine at all. So for today, I'm going to try and stay true to what you get in the kit and show you ideas on how you can use these products by including just some basic things that you probably already have, like a paper trimmer or your scissors. But keep in mind you can do so much more if you combine it with other products that you might have already in your stash, like for example a black ink pad, some paste to use with your stencils, some embossing powders that you can throw in. But let's start with the basics. So I'm going to use one of the pattern papers from the pad, and I'm going to use this one because it is nice and kind of neutral, so it would work with pretty much anything I would do on top. This is going to be my background. Now what I'm going for is either a card or it could have been an art journal. It is up to you what you want to do with it. So this is just a square which is 5.5 by 5.5. So it can easily be the start of your journal, and you can definitely cut it to size depending on what size of a journal you have. Or you can definitely go for a card. So I have here a pre-folded card and you just stick it on top. So let's work on this and let's decide later on what we want to do with that. I am going to bring in my ink pad and my blending tool, and I'm going to add a little bit of inking on one side. After all, the base that I chose is kind of neutral, so no matter what color you want, it would take it nicely. I don't want to cover up the whole background, I just want to have a little bit of color on one side. And the beauty of this ink pad is that it doesn't going to cover up what is underneath because the color is kind of light. So you still see all the designs underneath, you just introduce some interest with the color. Now, one thing that you can do with the ink pad is you can add it on your glass mat and dilute it with water, and then with the brush you can add some light splatters here and there. And then one thing that we can do when we work on the background to make it look more interesting is to do a little bit of stamping. Now, for stamping, you can either go ahead and use a black ink pad, which is going to give a more vibrant definition on what we are going to do. But just because I promised in the beginning that I'm going to stay true for the first project to what was included in the kit, I'm just going to use this for doing the stamping. So you will see that I do get a lovely definition on the background, a lovely visual texture, but it is very muted, so it's not going to overwhelm the page. This is a trick that you want to do sometimes if you don't want to turn your background looking very busy. Now, what I like to do is to use many stamps and create kind of clusters for my background. So you can either go and stamp with a stamping block if you do have one, that's what I'm showing you here, or you can just use your fingers, which are going to give you a more organic look. So here is how the background is looking. And now let's play with the stencil. I want to transfer this beautiful flower composition on my background, and again, staying true to the products of the kit, I'm just going to use my ink pad with the blending tool. Now, always the blending tool is going to give you a very subtle and soft look. You don't end up with splotches, and it is perfect to transfer designs from a stencil. I'm just holding the stencil with my fingers, and look the beautiful subtle look that we get. Now, one thing that you can definitely do if you do have pastes is to use the stencil with pastes. It's going to give you texture and not only design features. So I am really happy with how my background looks at the moment. I think that we elevated the background somehow. Now let's add some interest by using the scissors. I'm just going to scrape the edge of my scissor on the edge of the paper. This is going to rough up the edges, and it's going to give it some dimension and interest. So when you stick it on top of your journal, or if you stick it on top of your card base, then it's going to give some interest into the paper. It's not going to just lay there flat. And now it's just a matter of playing with elements that you pop out from the booklet. I went with a lady, and I want to have her on top of the stack of journals along with some flowers. I am going to cut out this image as well, and that's because I just want to have different layers on my composition. It's all about the layers. There are many elements that you can cut out or pop out. You will find tickets, postal stamps, which are great fillers for creating clusters. And I'm going for a loose art journal today. Sometimes I like to work on loose art journal pages, and then when I have enough, I can always bind them into a booklet. So I am starting with a white blank page where I'm going to build everything on top. I used my scissors to create some notches. Then you can use your fingers or reverse tweezer if you have one to curl up the edges. It really adds some dimension on your pages, some interest. You can do that on the notches, or you can do that on all the elements that you stick on top, on the corners. And the fun part is that you get a glimpse of what is printed at the back. So usually it matches what you have on front, since you are using pattern paper from the same collection. I am going to use my glue to stick it down. And then I'm going to have fun creating the cluster on top. Now for the clusters, I'm going to use the edge of my scissors to rough up the edges so that the elements stand out against each other. But if you do have a brown ink pad, it would be nice to do some ink blending all around the edges so that you can help them stand out even more. Now, if you want to, you can use glue and stick them down, which is included, or you can use foam tape if you have. If you don't have, just use corrugated cardstock from a cardboard. Just grab a cardboard, cut out pieces with your scissors and stick them at the back. This is going to add dimension and you don't need any extra elements that are not included in the kit. I'm sure you all have a cardboard somewhere in your house. So for cards or album covers, I like to have this dimension on my clusters, but if that was a journal page inside a book, then I would definitely go completely flat. So when you do have that dimension, you end up with shadows, as you can see here, which add to the whole composition. However, if it was flat with glue, then what you can definitely do is to just add with a brush some shadows along your elements to help them pop. Now I do have enough dimensions, so for the rest of the elements I'm going to go with glue. Now for the girl, look at her, she's looking the right or the left side. You can flip her depending on your composition. I am going to use glue for her at the back, and then I'm just going to tack some flowers here and there to make the composition look fuller. And now if that was a card, you would need to add a sentiment. For me it's an art journal page, so I want to add a quote. That's what I like to do on my pages. And if you look at the booklet, the junk journal booklet, you will find at the last page lots of sentiments and quotes that you can use. So just pick one that you like the most for your project and stick it down. Here I just went with the one that says wishing the best day. And then you can embellish your project even more by using the stickers. Remember, these are not shiny, but they do have a little border all around. The border is matte and it is ivory in color, which matches perfectly with the background that we have, so it's not going to stick out that much. However, if you don't like it, just use your scissors and cut it out. The stickers do have the outline, the pop-out images don't. So you see, for those tickets I cut out the border. For the leaves and my stars I don't even bother, but really it doesn't make a difference. So I'm going to stop here and call this project done. You can see here some close-up photos with all the details. And now for the next project that I'm sharing today, I'm going to introduce some extra items that were not included. One item that you need to have in your stash is a volume paste, a modeling paste of any kind. I am using the volume paste because it's nice and thick and I'm going to apply it with a spatula. Also, you need to have a black ink pad. It is a must-have if you are a crafter because you can do all kinds of stamping. And then let's start and let's put together a card, a really quick and simple card for now. And I'm just going to go with these items as my focal points. And I have here the pattern paper that I used in the previous project, just a scrap. I'm going to cut out a panel which is slightly smaller than my standard card. So you see, the kit is not just for art journaling, and you can do all kinds of scrapbooking projects with it. Now again, my background is kind of very pale and neutral, so let's add some interest, and this time I'm going to work with the black ink that I'm assuming everyone has, and I'm going to do some stamping. This time I'm using the text stamp, and again, you can stamp with an acrylic block or with your fingers. Just choose what works for you best. I tend to use my fingers because I get a more organic look, but here I'm just showing you with the stamping block, and again, this is just for visual texture at the background. It is not supposed to be there for reading, so even if it's upside down, I don't really care. Now I am going to introduce a circle from the stamps, the background stamps, just for visual texture again. I like to mix and match some of them, and I stamp them close to each other, creating kind of a cluster. Now let's transfer this beautiful flower composition on our background panel, and for that I'm using my paste. Again, this is volume paste. You can definitely go and transfer the text if you like. I'm just staying with the flower design of the stencil for this project, and you will see the beautiful design when I lift it, nice and subtle, but it is still there. I don't want to end up with a very busy background since I want my focal points to stand out. And since in clustering it's all about the layers, I'm going to use a few more elements and then I'm ready to put together my composition. So here is my panel. I'm just going to use my cardboard pieces to add some dimension and I'm going to stick it down. And then if you want, you can ink up the edges just to get rid of that white edge. And again, when you ink up the edges, elements stand out against each other. So now just use your glue and create your composition. I am going to use glue only at the center of all the elements because maybe later on I will change my mind and want to tag more elements behind. So this way I have the edges easy to lift so I can tag behind leaves, flowers or whatever comes to mind. And of course you can build up the composition even more. I'm going to leave it clean and simple. Just take a sentiment which I just cut out from the last page. And here is a card next to the art journal page that we did previously. And I'm going to share one more project with you, which is going to be a mini art journal page. So I'm starting on my mini booklet and I'm applying some ink with my blending brush just on one side of the page, and for this one I'm going for a clean and simple art journal design. So I'm not going to overwhelm the page, I'm not going to make it look too busy. I added first the ink at the back and then on top of that with the same ink I'm going to add some text on one side where I didn't apply, where I kept it kind of white. So the background looks really nice. I'm going to show you a technique that you can do with these ink pads. Now just because I'm working on watercolor paper and this is dye ink, I can use a baby wipe, go over the text, and this is going to lift color from behind, which is going to give what we call a ghost effect, and it is going to create lighter areas. I think this is a lovely technique that creates visual texture on the background so that it doesn't look so flat. You can splatter some water also, leave the droplets to react with the ink for just a few seconds, and then with a clean cloth or a paper towel, just blot the excess water and it's going to leave those beautiful droplets. Now another thing that you can do, just dilute the ink with water and then add some blue droplets on top of your project. So you see, we were able to create a beautiful and interesting background just with one ink pad, water and a stencil. Imagine what you can do by combining more than one colors for your backgrounds. Now, as I promised, I'm going to keep it clean and simple for this project. So I'm just going to pick some elements from the booklet to create my composition. And then you see, for this project, I didn't use anything that wasn't included in the kit. Just the ink pad, the stencil, water and the elements on top. Keep in mind that all the designs included in the junk journal pad are made so that you can mix and match them together. So you can have the girl on top of the earth, as you can see here, but you can have her on top of books, a stack of books, on top of a window that is also included. So many different options. Now I am going to separate the flowers from the stem because I don't like the branch for this composition as a whole. I prefer to use the leaves and the flowers to create my own composition so that it looks more balanced on my page. Now some finishing touches. If you do have a black pen or a white gel pen, you can definitely do some doodling on your pages. These finishing touches always add some highlights and kind of brings everything together. You see here I'm adding little details here and there. And of course my finishing touch always and my signature for all my projects is to add some white splatters. And I think that the easiest way to do that is to dilute some white acrylic paint with water, make it nice and runny, and I'm also using a very thin brush for very fine and detailed splattering. So these were the projects for today. Down below in the description you can find everything you need about this kit. Thank you all so much for joining me and I'll see you all next time.